Okay, so what we are looking at in front of us is the A7 III with the Atomos Shinobi 5-inch monitor on top of it. We're just looking at a little mock setup here, a little Sony speaker, little party speaker, an NPF Z100 battery, and the Sony FE85 1.8. We are going to look closer at the back of the monitor and all the features that you can see, all the features along the bottom here that you can see. We're going to be taking a closer look at that, and then kind of really dive into what you can get for what is this, $529 Canadian going for right now. Yeah, $529 Canadian is what this monitor is going for right now. So let's see if we can pick it up for. We'll check it out right now. Okay, so this is the Atomos Shinobi 5-inch monitor, 4K. It displays 4K. It is completely touchscreen, and here we have it. You're gonna get 13 icons across the bottom that you can touch. You can also touch things in the top to display information. Okay, so in the first tab, you're going to see your source, you're going to see your recording format, and then you're going to get some options, and then you're going to get to match your gamma and gamut to your camera. It's also going to tell you what camera you're shooting on, whether it's a Sony, Nikon, Canon, etc. Next, in the audio tab, you're going to get the level for your headphones if you were to plug in some headphones to this so you could monitor your audio, which is pretty cool. It does display battery level. The battery I have in there is pretty low, so I have one ready to swap into that, which is pretty awesome. It shows you that you can tap the power button, which is located on the back right of the unit. You can tap it to lock the display, which I can do right now. I was going to say screen locked, and then I can untap it or tap it again to unlock the screen. And then if I hold the power button for 4 seconds, I either turn off the screen or turn on the screen. This thing is going to shut down any second on us. And then last but not least is the information of the Shinobi. It's cool how it shows a little Shinobi Ninja there. So this is version 10. You can factory reset the monitor right here. Shows you the device ID and the build info, which is probably the same as the firmware version. There's 13 icons across the bottom. You're going to see audio meters in the top right, a battery display in the top right, monitoring mode here, and then you're going to see your gamma and video input in the top left corner. The monitor itself has an SD card slot on the right side here that I'll show you guys in a second. That is for uploading LUTs to the monitor. So I believe the monitor can hold, I believe it's up to 6 LUTs. I think 6 or 9 LUTs, I'm not sure. But you can upload LUTs through the SD card slot and also update the firmware of the monitor. The monitor itself can be calibrated using the X-Rite i1 Display Pro. You'll need a USB to serial cable to use that. And then it has 1/4-inch threads on the bottom and the top of the monitor. On the bottom of the monitor, the very bottom of the screen here, you can see I have one of my adapters. This is just to hold the monitor in the hot shoe of the camera, of course. And then the top right in the middle of where it says Shinobi here, there's another 1/4-inch thread there. As for the icons, you're going to get your Luma waveform. Let's just adjust the brightness a little bit. There we go. So you're going to get your Luma waveform there. It's a great way to visualize the dynamic range of your image. Next, you're going to get RGB Parade. This one here is going to show you your red, greens, and blues across your entire scene. Next, you're going to get RGB Overlay. So if you move your camera, which I don't want to move my camera, it's going to show you your different exposure levels throughout this color, your basic colors there. Next, you're going to get a vector scope. After that, vector scope zoom. so it does an 8 times zoom of the vector scope. Next is a histogram. The histogram pops up in the lower left corner, which is pretty useful. I like how it's out of the way. Next, you get a RGB histogram, which is awesome. Next, you can kind of show all the information, the vector scope, histogram, the RGB parade, and you get your audio in the top and just below the top right corner, and then you get a brightness scale, so you can adjust your brightness of the monitor right here. So that's pretty awesome. And then next, you're going to get focus peaking. Pretty awesome. You can adjust the color. If you have focus peaking on and you hit the scales here, for example, you can adjust the color of the focus peaking on the fly. So I totally love that, and I like how vibrant the focus peaking seems to be. So I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to turn my brightness down on my cell phone so you can see that. So let's go back into focus peaking. If I turn focus peaking on, right now it's on pink. Let's put it back to yellow. Okay, so if I turn focus peaking on, you'll see that it's on yellow right now. I do like how if you go into the adjustment slider here in the lower right corner, you can change the color red, white, you got green there, white, one's cyan, a cyane, or one's off-white. I can't even tell. You got the purple and pink there, so that's pretty cool. You can change the vibrancy of it to get it really popping, or just a kind of a subtle kind of effect to your image. So that's pretty cool. I'll leave it back on yellow, and I had it in the middle. Next, you can turn on the zebra lines. You can see the zebras to see what is overexposed. You can see if I turn on zebras just above the battery here. It shows it on the monitor, but you can't see it on my cell phone now. But just right there, that's obviously overexposed just a little bit. But that's zebras, and it's awesome to have that on if you're shooting outside or something. Next, I just hit it by accident. But this is false color. False color is a visualization of exposure across the image. But I like to also use it to check my focus, because if you're, for example, if you're in manual focus and you're moving your focus wheel, you can see how the more detailed the image becomes. It's really easy to tell if you've nailed your focus. So I'll leave it about there. Turn focus peaking on. Look at my image, and close, because I'm kind of far away. I'm sitting a little bit back, but it gets you dialed in pretty close. So sometimes I like to use false color along with focus peaking, and the two combined, based on what color combination I pick, can really complement each other, just to make sure that I've nailed focus. If I'm having to move quick or something like that. Next up on the monitor, it's a little bit hidden, and at first I couldn't find it. But actually, if you just look right here in the lower right, you can see this little arrow to the right before the adjustment sliders. So you actually just slide that over to the right, and then you'll see the bottom has shown to you 7 more icons you can press. So beginning there, what we get is a blue only exposure to see the noise content of a video image. Super useful. You're going to get a 1:1 zoom here just to check your focus. That's super useful. You get a 2 times zoom to really dial it in, and then you're going to get a 4 times zoom. It is grayed out, so it might be some sort of combination, or it might be because I'm shooting in 4K that I can't do the 4 times zoom at the moment. After that, you get safe areas. So it'll show you the action area and title safe area. Title safe areas are displayed on the screen for different aspect ratios. So 2.41, 2.35, 1.9, 1.85. You get 4:3 here, and then regular 16:9 widescreen. Next, you get cinema guides. So these are Cine or TV frame guides, just for your framing, just to make sure you're within the lines right. So I think the first one is going to be TV frame guide. The next one might be cinema. It might be the other way around, but regardless, I do love how it overlays that over the screen so you can see exactly where your framing is. And then last but not least, you get anamorphic D-squeeze, which allows you to correctly view images when using anamorphic lenses. So you get a 2 times D-squeeze there, 1.5 times, 1.33, and then back to regular. So if you have anamorphic lenses, it would correctly display your image on the screen for you instead of you getting that crazy wide angle kind of anamorphic look. So once you slide all the way back to the left, you're back to the Luma waveform in the beginning there. And then that's basically it. So just remember that there are 7 more icons hidden if you slide to the right on the bottom of the Shinobi there. One of the last things I forgot to mention about the monitor. If you hit this monitor icon in the lower left, then you're going to get another different display, which is going to put your battery icon in the lower right, right beside your adjustment slider. You're going to get your audio levels to the left of that. And then to the left of the audio slider, you get what looks to be the Luma waveform right beside that. So this is a nice sleek view if you're just trying to keep things minimalistic so you can really focus on your shot. Back to the regular view, just hit monitor again, and then you're back in business. The learning curve to the monitor isn't really too difficult, and you get really nice results out of the monitor. So it's a 1000 nit display. It does support 4K at 30 frames a second. As you can just see there, I got the error, battery low. So finally, there you have it. It is going to give you a warning when your battery's low, and who knows how long after that it's going to actually shut off. There's so many more things I can adjust with the adjustment slider. So your waveforms, if we have the waveforms here, you can have them display in different formats. You can have them across the whole screen, just along the bottom if you want. So if you get rid of the adjustment slider now, they'll be along the bottom of your framing. That's kind of cool too. Or you can just have it in the corner, kind of like the histogram would have popped up. Right, so if we go back to Luma waveform, we'll have that, put that back to regular. You got your focus peaking here that we can adjust. You can also adjust, not really sure, this is just kind of a different ways to display focus peaking that you can change up there. Put that back to regular. You can change the threshold of how thick you want the zebra lines. There we go, we confirmed it. The Shinobi's going to hold up to 8 LUTs here. That's pretty cool. The monitor, so you can choose which monitor gamma that you would like to view via the monitor itself. So Rec 709, HLG, hybrid log gamma, PQ, PQ. I am not sure what PQ is. And then you have your LUT option, but there are no LUTs uploaded to this one, so it's not like we have one to choose from anyway. And then you have really cool options to flip the monitor there. So just by the touch of a screen, you can flip the monitor left, right, up, and down. I like how if you flip the screen, it outlines what you've done. So you can just, you know which one you've done. So if you hit flip there, it outlines it in the corner. So you know that you flipped the screen from left to right. And then last, in display, you're going to get the backlight of the screen. The lift is, I'm not going to adjust it, but the lift is how much it's going to actually lift the overall brightness of the image. I don't think I can, well, I can get it back to 0. It is a little bit touchy to get the numbers back to 0 by touch. So you can see here, turn off vector scope. You can see here, try as I may to get it back to 0. It's really hard. So what you would do is just hit the reset there in the right corner, get everything back to normal. This is the strength of your LUTs on the image, take off peaking, and then the overall gain or signal kind of boost of the image there. So that's the Shinobi there. Reset, go back to the main screen. Battery still hasn't died. That's awesome. If you liked the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and see you guys in the next one.